Well, this is not the flight deck of a 146. This is a little bit more modern. Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and today I'm going to be flying the Avro RJ100, a study level aircraft from Just Flight, trying it out for the very first time. I do not know how to fly this aircraft, but it looks very similar to a 146, in fact, nigh on identical outside. I'm making an educated guess that it will fly similarly, despite some of the key differences which you can see in front of you, such as a more advanced auto-throttle system. Opposed to the older TMS system in the 146, there is a far more advanced autopilot system, capable of a lot more. In fact, the mode control panel in front of me here, right at the top on the glare shield, looks very familiar to me, having flown 737s many times in the past. There are digital displays instead of analog ones for the engine readout, obviously all switched off at the moment. CRT displays for my PFD and ND, also switched off, as well as a number of little other changes to do with things like pressurization, the fact that we can use LNAV in... Could we use LNAV in the 146? I'm not sure, never did use it. In fact, I'm not sure I really ever used the autopilot in any advanced way in the 146, but there we go. This is going to be interesting, and this video will be split into two, with this part being a cold and dark startup, FMS setup, taxi and climb out. Not a tutorial, because this is the first time I'm flying this aircraft, so definitely not going to be a tutorial. Navigraph is up. A flight is planned on SimBrief, passengers are aboard and the fuel tanks have been filled to the required levels. The flight today is going to be from here, Echo Golf Kilo Kilo, Gatwick Airport, over to Echo Golf Papa Hotel, Edinburgh Airport in Scotland. So make sure you stay tuned to find out how well I get on with a somewhat familiar but also different aircraft. And this is the first time in this sim that I am flying a commercial jetliner, albeit a small one. So there is also that to contend with. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and take a quick look at this so you have an idea. We're flying Speedbird 3633 today. And the route is going to be Lambourne 1 Zulu. That isn't right. Lambourne 1 Zulu. Hang on. That might be the wrong flight plan. Right. Check that. When was that written? No, that is the right flight plan. Why am I going out Lambourne 1 Zulu? Okay, I thought it was going out a different... Alright, I'm just going to check that, because that was not what I was expecting. This is why we check these sorts of things. Lambourne 1 Zulu RNAV departure. I think I might change that and take the Lambourne 5 Papa departure instead. Yes, I'm taking the Lambourne 5 Papa departure. That is not going to be the one that I take, but there we go. Things to check. Just going to get rid of the yokes on either side. There we are. Excellent, and just make sure that my rudders and my controls are all working as they should. That should not be doing rudder, that should be doing tiller only, but it will do for today. Right, okay, let's see if I can remember how to start this aircraft up. I've had a look at the checklist, and a lot of it is similar to the 146 that I used to fly, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. No ground power today, so we'll just go batteries and then to APU. Battery 1 and 2 on, all of these on auto armed or off, which is correct. Generators 1 and 4 are off. APU generator off. Galley currently shed. Engine anti-ice all off. All of that looks pretty good. All the avionics fan off. Ram air shut. APU air off. Nav lights can go on. Emergency flight deck lights go on. Let's go up to the upper panel. No smoking lights go on. Cabin emergency lighting can go on. Logo light can go on for now. It's a bit dark outside. It's quite cloudy. Wing lights do not need to be on. Your damper master goes on. Autopilot master goes on. Avionics master 1 and 2 also go on. FGC select set to 1. Ground ignition today will be A. Brake fans on off. Anti-skid currently off. Auto spoilers are on. And lift spoilers yellow and green systems are on. Engine pump off, DC pump currently off, AC pump off, PTU off. Good. That is looking reasonable. Let's go ahead and get the APU started. So pumps inner, that goes on. No, not GSX. We're not going to be using GSX. I am still getting used to this aircraft, or I need to get used to this aircraft, should I say. And then after that, I shall be using GSX once I'm able to do so. Right, APU is starting. It's really weird. It's lagging and stuttering and whatnot. Why did that start so quickly? That doesn't seem right. Well, anyway, APU's up. I was expecting that to take a little bit longer. APU air, packs 1 and 2 are on. Let's go ahead and bring these instruments up. It is just a little dark today. Fasten seatbelt signs do not need to be on just yet. Ice detect I will switch on nice and early. Not going to worry about that. Everything looks okay there. Let's just do a quick test. Good. And we'll do a test of this system. Also good.
Wind shear, wind shear,
yep.
Wind shear.
Thank you. Very good. And a test of... How do I test this system? Is there a way to test it? That button there. Oh, wait. What's the point of testing that when it isn't around? Well done, brain. We'll switch on both of these, and then we are going to get these aligning. So this is going to take a few minutes. By the time that has aligned, these should start flashing, I think, or go out, one or the other. Once that is done, or by the time I've done the FMC and set that up, that should be ready. So let's go ahead here. Reference airport is correct. That is the correct position. Everything looks good there. Okay, let's go. Echo Golf Kilo Kilo to Echo Golf Papa Hotel. Flight number Bravo Alpha Whiskey 633, speedbird 633, runway 08 right. Direct to Lambourne. 1156, correct. Direct to Brookman's Park. 1175, correct. Next page, direct to InPip is today's one there, and that is Uniform November 601. If we go back to this, we'll change this to Lima 10. There we are. Activate. Activate. There we go. Enter performance data. Rightio. We'll go ahead and do that. Cruise altitude today is flights level 200. So I know that's off the top of my head. Fuel that we have currently is 50. Fuel weight is... Oh dear, what is my zero fuel weight? Time to bring up my my OFP. On my phone, that is. The reason I'm bringing it up on my phone is just because it is a little difficult to read. I'll show you it a little later, but it's a little difficult to read and then go back and forth when I can bring it up on my phone. Zero fuel weight is 34.4. So I'll put that in, 34.4. Should give us a gross weight of 39.5 roughly. Reserves, total reserves today are going to be 1.6. There we go. Cruise wind is, I did notice it was 323 at 13, with the IC deviation being -2. I'm going to just check that. Was it -2? This is just my brain remembering it from this. It is -2. I thought it might have been -13. -2, 323 at 13. Good. All of that seems right. 351 nautical miles to fly. That is looking good. What is the QNH? 1012. Why was that so far out? Okay, I'm a little confused. So I have started this aircraft, or tried to start this aircraft up a couple of times, and it has, there's been a few issues, but I'm not entirely sure what is going on with some of these things. It's all seeming a little laggy. I'll go ahead and execute that. Go back to this. Departures and arrivals. Departures 08 right. Taking Lambourne 5 Papa. Execute. And let's go to the legs and just make sure that this is correct. So that is all looking right, although we do have a restriction. Flights level. Oh, can I go up at that point? Because I believe there is a speed, there is an altitude restriction at Lambourne. So, okay, that is fine, because what I'll do is we'll just assume ATC has given us clearance to continue up and do that. So that is fine. I was going to put the speed restriction in, but getting up to flight level 200 probably a good idea. All the way over to InPip, then I'll do the star into Edinburgh a little later. For this, I'm just going to go up to not nav radio. That is not an active button, and it is not active in the real aircraft as well. So do not try it if you ever get to fly one of these, which you probably won't. No. Press clear, clear, clear. There we go, clear. Echo Golf, Kilo, Kilo. I'm just going to put a fix, so I know that what I want to do is I want to hand fly some of this. So if I look at this chart, this bit's here. 051, 077, 051. So that is at 3.5 nautical miles. That is when I'm going to turn. So I'm going to set this to be 077 slash 3 point, is it 3.2? 3.5. 3.5. There we go. Okay, good. That is done. Let me go ahead and start getting the radios up whilst this is still apparently aligning. I think there is a trick to this. You can go up to nav and back down, and that would do a fast alignment or something along those lines. Of course, we are, what, 50 degrees north, 50 something degrees north, so it does take longer to align. If you were up all the way up at 70ish degrees north or south, it would take up to 15 minutes, I think, to get the alignment done. I think about here it takes about 10 or 11 minutes, so that is fine. That is why I'm doing all of this right now. V-speed should now be in, so we've got 137 for flaps 18 takeoff, which I'm actually going to set on the IAS as 147. Not entirely comfortable with those, I'll be completely honest. There we go. Initial heading, which apparently does not seem to be working on my Honeycomb Bravo anymore, which is annoying, is going to be 077. After which I will hand fly and then go to 078. So that should not be an issue. And the initial course should also be identical at 077. So we'll put 077 for that. Similar for this. 077. Initial altitude is 5,000 feet. That is the first restriction that we have. And 110.9er is Gatwick's. ILS for 8 right. Then I want Detzling, which is 117 point something. I'll check that in a minute. And over here I'm going to tune in Lambourne, which is 115.6. I know that's one very well. 1173 is it for Detzling? 1173 it is. So I'll go ahead and set that. Debt sling should be fairly easy. Flight directors can go on. Captain side master. And that is the autopilot system set up and ready to go. Okay, at this point, I would say that the aircraft is pretty much ready to go, barring the alignment process, which is still apparently ongoing. So we'll wait a couple of minutes. If that doesn't work, I'll try and put that into fast mode and get things up. I've just gone ahead and closed. Can I switch these lights on? I've just gone ahead and closed the door, flight deck door. I'm just going to start switching some lights on so that I have the instrumentation and everything lit up. That is not the right one, is it? Where are my instrument lights? I mean, that's brightness for that, that's brightness for that. That isn't it. Okay, I'll check it by going over here and having a quick look. So we've got, oh no, panel instruments, that is it. It's just bright enough that that is not necessary at this point in time, but we might need it as we go through. Well, you can see bits, actually it's clearing up. The weather is moving out, which is decent. Okay, just going to go through the checklist right now, make sure everything is properly set. So just done all of that from memory. Now it's a matter of how much of that did I get wrong. So let's see, batteries, yep, no smoking, nav, your damper master, all of that is done. Generators, fuel pumps, packs. Did I switch on the packs? That's probably something no, I did switch on the packs, good. All the lighting and everything has been done. FMS has been set up. EFIS master, IRS systems are good. We're just waiting for them to come online before I can start the engines, do the pushback and start the engines. What is the current time? Oh, we are pretty much almost on time. So I think I'm going to get this connected regardless and get rid of the chocks. So as I said, we are just about on time for this. I'm going to wait another 2 minutes, I'd say, and see if this comes up. If it doesn't, I'm just going to do the faster line, which just means I take it up to nav, back down to a line, and it should do it within I think 30 seconds or something like that. Also, I've read. I do not know. Right, interesting. This is not coming online. So either I have significantly messed something up, or it is just not working in the slightest. Come on. I want to push this aircraft back and get this aircraft started. You know what? I think I should probably get ready to get this aircraft started. So beacon lights can go on. At this point in time, all fuel pumps will now go on. Packs 1 and 2 will be switching off. Should I switch them off right now? Yes, packs 1 and 2 off, APU air off, and engine anti-ice 1 through 4 on. Start master switch can go on, and double check everything up here is okay, which it is. Wing lights are off, logo light is still on, that is fine by me. And just like that, there come our PFD and ND exactly as I wanted it to be. Right, let's get this moving us back if it decides to move us. Brilliant. And whilst that is happening, I'm going to start the engines. Starting with engine 4. Where are you taking me? guess I'm going to take manual control. Where on earth are you taking me? So just waiting for about 15% to come up on this before I put the fuel in, which is about there. Fuel can now go in. So that is just a matter of clicking this, but I've got it properly mapped. Why are you pushing me out? Where are you pushing me out? And we'll just do the exact same for all engines. 4, 3, 2, 1 shall be the order for today. I have no idea what that is doing, so I'm going to back myself up manually. Next engine coming online, engine 3. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, how you like to annoy me so. Fuel in. And hopefully I've got this correct. Just about. Right, I'd like you to disconnect, please. There we go, you're off. Engine 2, start. Goodbye. I shall see you at some other points. Right, at this point, none of this should be needed. Just have to make sure that I know what I'm flying, or I'm flying the right routing. Uncage this, that's a good idea. Check to ensure that this is set to max. Yes, it is. Heading select, I will switch on. Set for 0778 actually. This will be, auto throttle will be armed. Oh yes, no engines yet, cannot do that. Altitude hold can be armed, we'll work it out. And here comes the last engine. I'm not sure what this thrust button does. These can also go on. And fuel can go in, we're about 13%, great. This is going to be set up into that mode, which is a VOR localizer, and the range is going to be as tiny as I can possibly make that. Good. Weather radar can go on, although I'm not sure it will necessarily be needed, so we'll put it into standby. I'm not expecting any bad weather. Okay, at this point I'm going to switch on the all the ice protection, screen heat, and engine anti-ice can go off. Generators can go on. Start master, that goes to off. Start master can go off. APU air can go back in with the packs coming back online. Galley can come to life. Taxi lights can go on. Engine pump 2 and 3 can go on. PTU goes on. AC pump goes on, and I think anti-skid goes on. Brake fans to automatic. We are configured already. That seems like the configuration is done. Yep, that looks configured to me. Easy way to do it is switch off the parking brake and see if the config check. Nope, something that is still not right. What was it that came up? We'll check. Okay, what is it that isn't correct? We'll check through everything. Okay, time to check the checklist, not to do it from memory. What could be missing? So the generators are on, APU air is on, brake fans, that is all on, power is up, flaps, that's what it wants flaps 18 already. Okay, in that case we should start rolling towards the runway. 25 minutes, not too bad, you know. I was expecting it to take a little longer than it has. I was going to use track IR today, or track... should I use it? I probably could. I can attempt it. Yes, I think I shall. Although whether or not it will work, I have no idea. So the problem I have with this tracking sometimes is that it does not appear to realise what exactly I'm trying to do. It just starts flickering and whatnot. There we go. Config check is now clear. So it was just the flaps that were the problem. Right, I'll go ahead and center my tracking and just check. This is, yep, that's moving. This is a bit much, but it is moving. Now, a couple of things that I will have concerns about. Toga, I'm going to attempt to use Toga. Not sure if it is going to work, but I'm going to attempt to use it. As I said, we're going to be doing heading select. We'll maybe try and do some VOR navigation potentially, but I was going to try and hand fly this first bit. All of this I'll try and hand fly. Then once we are towards Lambourne, settled in at around 5,000 feet, then after that I'll try and do something else. Maybe go into LNAV at that point. This aircraft does not have a VNAV, even though there is a VNAV button. Does not work. It does have an advisory VNAV, so a VNAV just gives you an idea of what you need to do as opposed to what you should be doing. So we'll be using level change today for the climb and vertical speed for the descent. MLS system, again, not present, although the aircraft does have the button for it. Collins made this panel with the button. That button was for the microwave landing system, which never happened. And no, that is not a landing system where you can cook your breakfast or something, or heat up your tea. But yes, that did not happen either. I think we potentially take a screenshot, right? I'd have to pause it though, and I'm always concerned anytime I pause this title, I have a concern that it will stop working every single time I pause it. I'm sure it probably won't, but I just never know. It's just something you have to be wary of, unfortunately. But there we go, there's essentially a picture. Okay. And continue on. Good. Just going to check things for taxi takeoff. We've done the config. Trims. I need to ensure that the trims are set. There is an easy one here to go here to that and press that. That will set trims correctly. If we press that, there we go, that has been set. So just the CG and this number here, so that has been set. Aileron and rudder trims are currently set to be to neutral, so that is good. Continuous ignition is not required. Landing lights will go on in a moment. I'm just going to go all the way around to the end. Hopefully that isn't rain. That could be a band of rain. That should not hopefully move in towards where we're going. All the right numbers are set on the mode control panel, which is the autopilot panel that you see in front of you. Flaps are at 18. V-speeds are correct. I think we are good to go. Transponder can go TAR8. And we're just going to scoot past the non-active runway to the active. Right, final checks. At this point, strobe lights on, taxi lights off, landing lights on. I'm not sure why I'm looking around for traffic. I have no traffic on this sim at present, but I will do once I've built my new machine. I should be able to put traffic on. That last light seems awfully close and raised. That does not seem correct. And let's go ahead and stop the aircraft at the end of this displace threshold. Right here. Good. Looking at the windsock, there is a bit of a crosswind. So I'm going to be wary of that. This is where things tend to go wrong. It's going to be all the toga stuff. Engine air and all of that I will do once the autopilot systems are in. Obviously, single pilot operations cannot do that. Okay. So, ailerons into the wind. Because, well, it's not that windy, it's very light, so I should be alright. Brakes on. Just need to check what that sign is. What's that? AC pump on, brake, yeah, that's fine. Not something I need to be concerned about. Just had to make sure. It's always important to double check. Throttle up. Brakes off. Parking brakes are off. Toga selected.
Please take your seat for takeoff.
Check thrust. Airspeed alive. Thrust set. knots.
Cabin is secured for departure.
80-100.
Go. Rotate.
Rotate.
Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up selected.
Okay, we are up in the air. That was not too bad at all. Right, set the speed. We're going to go straight for 180. And continuing climbing up. I know the flight directors are telling me something weird, but I'm not going to worry about that. Set heading for 051. Just so I have the blue line for when I need to turn. Speed wise, we are doing all right. Definitely doing all right here. Coming up on our turning points, just looking at the ring right there as we come in through this cloud. Look at that view. That's the M26, I think. So just going to turn nicely towards that. Actually going to now pitch the nose down. Just past it slightly. There we go. Good. 7.5 degrees. And we're just going to fly 051 for a short period of time. At this point, I'm actually going to get the autopilot in and let it hold this, and we're going to go level change up to 5,000 at 180.
Flaps 0.
Flap 0. Flaps up. Speed to 210. So I'm still learning how to fly this aircraft. Clearly, as you can see, isn't quite there yet. Let's go ahead and switch to Detling, and we're going to be 078, and I'll be looking for the VOR for that. We are at 5,000 feet. Good. That is what we are going to be sitting at for a short period of time. So whilst we are able to potentially do this, well, you can see it's just cloud. Forgot that I can pause the game right here. I have no idea how this pause works. I'll be honest. But hopefully it works reasonably well. There isn't much to show. There really isn't much to show here. So whilst we sit at 5,000 feet, once we are on our way to Detling, which I'm going to try with that. Let's see if it picks it up. I hope it does. This aircraft is seemingly a little bit sluggish on movements. The autopilot system's a little bit more sluggish. Right, at this point in time I need to, let's see, cabin air to recirc, APU air off, engine air can go on, APU generator can go off, and APU can be stopped. There we go. Good. As we now just fly straight through the clouds. It's actually really quite nice. Just in general, going through this is quite nice. Let's go and sit up a little bit higher. What I'm going to do is, because I'm going to, we'll do direct to that one when I can. So the way I'm going to do this is go to legs, because it may not know what I'm at. No, it does actually know what I'm at. It does know I'm at Acorn. Okay, good. So once we get to, I don't know which one that is. Oh, it thinks we're on a, no, it knows we're on this departure. So I might just do a direct Lambourne in a bit. Right, checking what else needs to be cleaned up once we are up. I think I'll put this now into climb power. There we go. So normal climb power, maximum, which is fine. Let's go ahead and increase speed to 250. Just to get ourselves going. Actually, we'll go to, yeah, 250 will do. It's pretty easy. This aircraft accelerates really quite well. Oh, and apparently a little bit of stutters. I'm just looking to see what I can see out there. And that is what could potentially be a really, really nice screenshot. I can see a nice screenshot coming up here. Is the aircraft still moving? No. Good. Because a screenshot opportunity has presented itself, and when a screenshot opportunity presents itself, one must take said screenshot opportunity. Okay, this isn't the greatest of screenshots, but I'm learning how to use the photo mode. That is the main part. And what I could do is, I suppose, do it from really far away and say, look, here you go. But then you're really looking at the upper bit, not the lower bit. Sorry, this is a bit of a more distracting than it should be. I tend to do this. I'll find an opportunity for a screenshot any moment. There we go. That's looking quite good. Something like that. That's looking rather reasonable. Good. That's another screenshot taken. should have been about there, to be honest, so I'm going to just do another one like... should be like that, I think. There we go, and let's just go back in and I shall try to behave myself now. Okay, at this point in time, let's see if we can take it into LNAV mode. LNAV is now active. Next altitude is going to be 6,000 feet, so I'm not going to go for it yet, but I am going to have it pre-selected. Yep, 1,000 feet to go, I know that. At that point, we will be switching to flight levels. Oh, what a lovely view. What a lovely view out of the flight deck. And it appears to be holding this really, really well. I was supposed to be doing the checklist, wasn't I? Oh, okay. I do have to take a thumbnail here because, well, we're turning. I know. It isn't, I'm not supposed to be doing that, but it's... How can you not, in a situation where the scenery... When this simulator works, it is one of the most stunning simulators, if not the most stunning simulator I've ever seen. When it doesn't work, it is the most annoying simulator I have ever seen and experienced. Make of that what you will. I'm sure I'll be able to go back into the replay and catch a number of these, but just in case, I cannot. So we'll go to 6,000, and once we get near Lambourne, I'll go right the way up. And once we have done this turn, I am also going to change. So a little nifty little thing here, 7.3s also have it. You can change the angle quite easily just by changing not that first knob, but the knob behind it. Also, I think there's a click spot somewhere here that allows this to synchronize. I'm not sure if it's that click spot. I'm going to risk it. It is. There you go. That click spot will synchronize to where you are, the current heading. Coming up over the Thames, I'm now going to drop this to, that's 20 degrees of bank at most. The aircraft is just drifting a little, as you can see, but we are working our way up. 5 to 6, yeah, we'll do... No, let's say we are now cleared all the way up to 20,000 feet. That's our next goal. There we are. Okay, and we will... Where shall we be cleared from? Should we say from here? Let's say we are cleared from here. I have no idea how this is going to work, so bear with me once I have ensured that I've cleaned up everything, which I think I have not. This needs to go to that. Good. Now everything looks, as far as I'm concerned, that is everything cleared. Yes, that seems right. Okay. Let's now go and say we are cleared out of... Oh, that's London over there. Another screenshot? Sure, why not? This gives you an idea. You can just about see the Thames barrier and the bridges and stuff like that in this area. That's the barrier. That's London City Airport. We're just in the cloud layer here, but we are going to climb now. So this should, in theory, allow us to climb at 250, after which we should then increase to 280 once we get past 10,000 feet, which is when I'll switch off the landing lights as well. This system can now go into LNAV, and given the speed that we are doing the transponder, though we're not using it, can increase to maximum range. Radios are not needed yet. Is that in LNAV mode? Yes, it is. Excellent. And increase the range of that because, well, we're travelling quite a distance, aren't we? Now climbing. That's is that Dagenham just down there? Possibly. No, that's a little bit too far to be Dagenham. Dagenham would be... It might actually be that area. Where Ford... It's just the area of Ford Motor Group. It might be... It could be just... No, it's slightly too far. Although this is a screenshot. That is... That there is quite a screenshot. All I need to do is get the right focus. Oh, apparently it doesn't... It's an all or nothing focus right now. But there we have it. Excellent. Right. I think at that point, no, we'll climb all the way up to our flight level, and then I'll see what I do with the I'll see what I do with all the video. English, please, come on. Speak. Right, given how high up we are, I can set this to 1013, although it barely makes a difference. There we go. We are climbing really nicely, so at this point, going to try to increase speed to 280. So you'll notice that the nose of the aircraft came down just a bit. You can see it as I'm trying to increase speed to my climb speed. So you can see the nose of the aircraft coming down. We're only going up at 1,000 foot per minute at this point in time as I'm increasing speed. It is very stuttery. I'm also now going to switch off the landing lights. That wasn't the landing lights. Those are the landing lights. What I did there was switch off the strobes. That's not smart. And we are out of the way here. Heading towards Brooklands Park. 280. And this is now just a matter of cruising. That is literally all we have to do. I can always have a look at the charts nice and early. Yep, there is some really horrible stutter going on. And look at the arrival charts. And this is the curiosity that I'm going to have. So we've got INPIP 1 Echo is going to be my arrival chart. Lee Valley. That's the Lee Valley right there. Central London out there, just out that way. Should be able to just about see the river. There it is, twisting and snaking its way through towards Heathrow Airport, which is out that way. Excellent views. Right, so the problem I'm going to have is that I am landing runway 6. And this takes me over to Tartan, which is nowhere near the final approach fix. So my plan is to go do the INPIP arrival. So I'll go INPIP 1 Echo, but only to Eskdale, and then from there go direct to Tala, which is a VOR here, and then fly it in myself from there. That is what I am planning to do. But that shall have to wait for the next episode. At this point in time, I think this is a good time to end this video. So thank you very much for watching. Please remember to click on the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Microsoft Flight Simulator. Leave a comment in the comments box below, letting me know what you think, any suggestions you might have. If you can do so, please do consider supporting me on Patreon, link in the description box below, as are links to my social media and Discord server. By the way, the reason I'm doing that is that I've just noticed a sign saying ice detected has come up as we are heading and going through the clouds, which does make sense. What I am hoping is that I still have enough climb power to get us up to just above these clouds, since we're sort of in between layers at the moment, and if I can just get just above these, that will keep me out the ice, and then I can switch off the ice. I can switch off the engine anti-ice. But for now, it will need to be on. But yes, Discord server, I think I mentioned that. That is all from me, and I shall see you next time in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, where I will bring this aircraft down and land it in Edinburgh. It's going to be a while. Yes, this is going to be a while, but we'll be able to enjoy some of this flight and just looking out the window and enjoying the views. But that will be next time.